Welcome back to my book channel. My name is Hannah. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're new here, hi. Wow, who knew that ring lights give off so much heat that I'm sweating. Gonna be my May TBR. Now, I might be being ambitious with this because I still have some books on my TBR that I didn't even finish reading or get round to in April. So what was I saying? Yeah, I make an effort to read like an hour before I go to work and then an hour before I go to bed. I just don't put that much pressure on myself to read if I'm not in the mood to read, because by the time I get home I'm just so tired that all I want to do is eat dinner and go to sleep. Unless the book is like really interesting me, some days I don't read and that's okay. So anyway, smaller than normal, but I think I'm being more realistic with myself. So the first book on my May TBR was also on my April TBR, and I think possibly I just wasn't in the mood to read this story, or I just wasn't in the mood to read at all, so I got to page 32 or something, and then I gave up. But I really want to read it because it sounds really interesting. It's about someone that goes missing on an aeroplane, or an aeroplane goes missing, and this detective lady is her girlfriend, and she's trying to figure out how the plane went missing and all the people on it, etc. So I've added it back to my May TBR, so hopefully I will get further than 30 pages, but we shall see. I mean, will I? Who knows at this point. I did a book haul where I go through the blurb of this, and oh my god, it sounds so good. I loved The Couple Next Door. It was one of the favourite books that I've read this year, I think. I read it in 3 days, and I think Shirley Lupin is one of those authors that I get hooked with this author, and I love that when you discover a new author that you simply need to read everything they've ever written, and I think she's definitely one of those authors for me. So essentially this book is about a brand new couple who've just got married, and someone from his past comes and accuses him of murdering his ex-wife. She's dead, but we don't know if she's been murdered or if she's died in some other way. So this woman from his past is trying to warn his new wife, essentially, and trying to figure out if he murdered his ex-wife. I mean, I'm on board with that. The third book on my May TBR is a Lisa Jewell one. I've realised for the past year I've been pronouncing her name wrong, and I've been saying Lisa Jewell. It's actually Lisa Jewell, which makes a lot of sense. I just mispronounced it. So anyway, this is Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. I've done it again. Lisa Jewell. A missing girl, a buried secret. I am intrigued again. So essentially this is about a girl that she's 15 and she goes missing. We're finding Ellie, and then she meets a charming charismatic stranger who sweeps her off her feet. But what really takes her breath away is that she meets his 9-year-old daughter, because his 9-year-old daughter is the image of Ellie. Now all these unanswered questions have haunted her or come flooding back. What really happened to Ellie, and who still has secrets to hide? So did the guy... I need to read this month because it was on my thing months ago, I think. Hoover novel. This was also on my April TBR, but I did not get around to it. I just need to get better at, prioritising reading and enjoying it rather than feel like it's a chore to do it. Reading is a hobby, and I love reading. I just don't want to feel like it's a hobby. Wait, what? I don't want to feel like it's a chore. As long as it still feels like a hobby, that's great. But as soon as it starts to feel like a chore, you just get annoyed that you don't want to do it, because you're like, oh, it's like doing your laundry, you let it sit there for weeks on end and you think, I really need to do that, but it's a chore that I just am not in the mood to do yet. Anyway, this book is called Regretting You by Colleen Hoover, and this essentially is about a mother-daughter relationship and how in the last person she expects, and Clara returns to the one boy she's forbidden to see. With each passing day, new secrets, resentments and misunderstandings make mother and daughter fall further apart. So far apart that it might be impossible for them to ever fall back together. So I think this might be a hard one to read. I love the cover of this book, I have to say. But yeah, this also, like I said, it was on my May TBR, so this is The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. It's her most recent novel, and I pre-ordered it so that I could read it in May, obviously. So I'm excited to read this one. It's about a road trip that takes place, and they end up driving like 400 miles to Scotland, but a car crashes into them, and just it happens to be Adie's ex Dylan, who she's avoided since their breakup 2 years ago. So they're all heading to the same wedding, so Adie has no choice but to offer them a lift, and then you know, will they make it to the wedding? Is it really the end for them, or did they just need some time apart? Will they get back together? There's a whole lot of history in this car, and it sounds exciting, and I loved the first two books I read by Beth O'Leary. So yeah, that essentially is my May TBR pile. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or you have any of them on your to be read list, or which ones you haven't heard of, and everything like that. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I shall see you guys in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye!